Yo, what's the crack, boys? Got an interesting one for you today. Dark horse MVPs. Obviously, let's keep it real. We all know who the three MVP candidates are going to be next year: Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis. Tatum's going to be in that discussion, and Devin Booker will be in that discussion. Those are like the five best players in the NBA in like regular season for like MVP. Obviously, like LeBron, KD. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Those guys are just very easily could win MVP. I've got my dark horses. Probably like some names I'll say like that's not really dark horse. They could probably win MVP, especially be a candidate. Steph as well. I forgot, like, especially Steph this season. Steph. Every season Steph is healthy in the first like 2 months. It's like, okay, Steph's gonna win MVP. And obviously his shot selection is like no one else does it. Well, like Dame, but like, you know what I mean. He does fall in the MVP every time. It's like, yeah, you could say Steph as well. But these are the dark horse ones, the ones where it kind of has to go, not like it has to go right. Obviously, you'll understand, like, you know, injuries might stop them, team record. You kind of know what I mean. First one, I've got Anthony Edwards. He improves every season that he's been in the league. Averaged 24 last year, good shooting splits in the playoffs. Arguably gave Denver the money, their hardest player matchup. Let me make that clear. No way was it their hardest series. That was probably Phoenix. Maybe the Lakers as well. Obviously, it was a sweep, but they were quite close. Miami didn't really give him that much trouble. Anthony Edwards, easily. He's just so skilled. He's like, how do you even explain? His game is just so precise and nice. He'll be the leading scorer in that team. I'm not exactly sure what, like, Cat could get traded. I doubt it. I think he'll be on the team. Minnesota are getting a bit better. Obviously, signed Shake. They've got a few more players. Anthony Edwards, literally number one pick. I think he's going to be the best player in the NBA one day. So many players, young players, are going to be, arguably the best young player in the league / best player. I think Anthony Edwards will just take that jump. Minnesota should make the playoffs this season. Obviously, they're the eighth seed, lost in the first game play and won again. For him, this is a dark horse. He will have the stats. He will have those big games. It's just, can he take Minnesota to that leap? Can he literally, like, he's probably the only player on this list that, like, kind of has to carry the team. Other players have good teams around them, which could get him the MVP. So, can he reach that level in his game where he can, win games by himself? Not by himself, you know what I mean? Take the rock and just win them games. If he averages good stats on the top 5 seed, narrative around him, he can easily win MVP. Obviously, I think he's going to win it, in the future. Well, you never know. He might not, but he's going to be an MVP candidate in the future. I did say he would be a dark horse MVP candidate this year. Not quite. Obviously, Minnesota were terrible since that Rudy Gobert trade. Now you're kind of stuck with 2 supermax centers. So yeah, he is in a tight situation where that narrative could get him the MVP. Obviously, he's going to average the stats. We'll just have. Now, Zion Williamson legitimately could have won MVP last year if he was healthy. Pelicans were number 1 seed. They looked like they were going to contain it. If Zion played at 82 games, played 75, 70, they would have been a top 3 seed. He has the statistical stats and the impact on winning and, taking over games to actually win MVP. That's what I'm saying. Zion's health, obviously injuries, you can't, like, get lost in hypotheticals. Zion could already have an MVP right now. He is, like, obviously he was the most hyped prospect for a reason. His game is just a lot better. Floaters, pull up mid-range, obviously in the post and driving to the rim. No one can stop him. Absolutely no one. So efficient. That's what I'm saying. All Zion has to do is just play enough games and he will literally be in the MVP conversation. That's it. It's that simple. It's easily that simple. That's all he has to do. I'll say it again. That's all he has to do is just play games. He will put up the stats. That Pelicans team around him is just so good, that's not going to be an MVP, Shab. He has the team around him, the coaching, Brandon Ingram, like, that is a 60-win team right there. Him, that's the number 1 guy, averaging the stats he has, easily an MVP. I don't really have to say much on that. Now, this one can legitimately happen. I can easily see this happening. Obviously, injuries. This is the last player that could be affected by injuries. Dame, if he gets traded to Miami, which it looks like it's going to happen, you'd think he would get traded to Miami. Obviously, what they're missing is a shot creator, which obviously Tyler Hero is kind of their shot creator. Dame on the Miami Heat, obviously they were the 8th seed last year. Obviously, Miami are a lot better in the playoffs. Dame on that team, obviously Miami do struggle with injuries. Dame on that team averages 30 like he did this season. Gets Miami a high seed because they have that momentum from the finals. They will be an 8th seed. Not an 8th seed. They will be a high seed. Dame averages 30, has those clutch games where he's taking over in the clutch. Shoots great from free. Like I said, has those monster games. Scores. He's still in his prime. Legitimately, the number one option on that team in the East. Is literally destined to stars. He can legitimately win MVP. Obviously, you got Giannis and Embiid in the East. If Miami are high seeding them, he can take one of their spots for a candidate. So I'm saying Dame as an MVP. And for my last player, Shai. Shai, arguably, obviously OKC didn't make the playoffs. They're going to be a lot better this season. They got a great team. Shai's a superstar now. Shai's arguably top 10 player in the NBA. Had that crazy season last year. He cares about the game. He's going to get a lot better this season that's coming up. Possibly, maybe his points will go down. Chet's there. A lot of more players are worthy of getting shots. He's just such a two-way monster. One of the most clutch players in the NBA. If not the clutch player. Obviously, that's De'Aaron Fox, who we'll get to in a minute. His game is just so exciting to watch. In the West as well, he has that, West is tougher. If he can get OKC to top 6 seed, how could he not win MVP? How could he not? He already got a lot of MVP votes. What, he was like 5th? I forgot where he came in MVP. That was a 10th seed. Can you imagine if OKC makes the playoffs? He'll have that narrative around him. He was good enough last season to win MVP if OKC was a higher seed. Especially early in the season when he was hitting those clutch shots, game winners. He is arguably, like I said, he is clutch. He can win that. I don't know why I said my last player. I just realized I said my last player. I don't know why I said that. This is my last player. De'Aaron Fox. Kings arguably could be the 1 seed next season. They made a lot. They signed that EuroLeague MVP guy. What's his name? I forgot his name. De'Aaron Fox, the most clutch player in the NBA. Him, Embiid, and Shai. Dame. He's got, he is that guy in the playoffs. De'Aaron Fox in the playoffs was a monster. That was the best season in the playoffs. Warriors, Kings. His game's going to take another next level. His shooting has gone so much better. I expect that to keep up. Sabonis got higher MVP vote than him. That makes no sense. De'Aaron Fox will be clutch this season. He'll be just as good, if not better, this season. Kings got Mike Brown. The Kings, I'll make a stands reaction video. I'm probably going to have the Kings as a top 2 seed. They were the 3rd seed last year. I expect them to be better. Ride that momentum. Also, they could just lower seed. Who knows? The West is a bit better now this year. De'Aaron Fox will be clutch, put up the stats, have his game winners, his clutch moments, easily be in the MVP conversation. And if Sacramento, like I said, improve a seed, he's going to be in that MVP conversation. But obviously, it's 3 candidates. You got, obviously the 3 best players in the world in their prime, in Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis. So it will be hard. But those are my players. What do you think?